How you all doing, everyone? Good day to everybody wherever you're watching me from. Today is another day. I have a quick message to share with everybody, and then we will go right into it. Book of Mark, chapter 8, from verse 22. I want to read from the English Standard Version. And they came to Bethsaida, and some people brought to him, that is to Jesus, a blind man, and begged him to touch him. 23. And he took the blind man by the hand and led him out of the village. And when he had spit on his eyes and laid his hands on him, he asked him, "Do you see anything?" Do you see anything? "24. And he looked up and said," the blind man looked up and said, "I see people." Note the response of the blind man. Jesus asked him, "Do you see anything?" Do you see anything? At that present moment when Jesus touched his eyes, the first question that came out of Jesus' mouth was, "Do you see anything?" And he looked up and said, "I see people." Listen, I see people. So he could see from that first touch, I see people. But, see that clause? But they look like trees walking. Interesting. Scripture is a script layered in symbolism, allegory, metaphors, figurative speeches, and parables. I see people, the blind man said, but they look like trees walking. New Living Translation puts it this way: the man looked around. Jesus asked, "Did you see anything?" Asked him if he saw anything. The New Living Translation puts it this way: the man looked around. "Yes," he said, "I see people, but I can't see them very clearly. They look like trees walking around." Okay. The blind man saw people, but he couldn't see them clearly because he saw people. He knew he saw people, But these same people he saw them walking around like trees. Have you seen a tree, an actual tree, walking before? No. If you see the physical tree walk past you, you will flee because you'll be scared. And that is out of the ordinary, so you'll be scared. But let me say this and let me correct anyone that believes that Jesus did not get the first healing, or Jesus did not get it right at the first healing or at the first touch, healing the man. Who are you talking to? Are you referring to Jesus? Are you referring to Jesus? I don't think so. Some preachers have preached that, even Jesus, when he healed the blind man, when he touched him the first time, he didn't get it right. Who told you Jesus did not get the healing right? There is a message, there is a spiritual message behind this scenario. The man saw people, but at the same time, he saw these same people walking around like trees. May I submit to you, when at the point that Jesus healed this man, or at the point that Jesus touched the eyes of this blind man, he allowed him to peek into another dimension for him to see the structure of the inner man, the structure of the inner being that we popularly refer to as the tree of life. So the question is, are you ready to eat from that tree of life? The Bible talks about the tree of life. Now, let's continue. Verse 25 of Mark chapter 8, English Standard Version. Then Jesus laid his hands on his eyes again, and he opened his eyes. His sight was restored, and he saw everything clearly. Jesus touched him the first time. He saw people, but he saw them before the natural is the spiritual. Things happen in the spiritual realm. Things happen in the spiritual dimension before it's manifest in the physical dimension. So for the fact that the first time Jesus touched the eyes of the blind man, and he saw men, he saw people, but he saw them walking around as trees. He saw into the spiritual dimension of who the inner being, the inner man of man looks like. Before he touched his eyes again, and he opened his eyes, and he could see clearly. He could see clearly in the sense that now he could see the way you and I will see a man walking around, or a lady walking around, or a child walking around, or a car driving by. You understand? So the spiritual dimension first, then the physical dimension. Anything you see in the physical reality, in the material world, first took place in the spiritual world, in the spiritual dimension. So what Jesus was trying to teach everybody here is, you want to eat from the tree of life, see and peek into the structure of the spiritual dimension. How the spiritual dimension of the spirit man is composed. I see men, I see people, but they look like trees walking around. And someone will say, oh, Jesus didn't get his healing right the first time. Who are you talking to? You are the one that did not get the teaching right the first time. Let's go deeper. Verse 26. And he went and he sent him to his home, saying, do not even go, do not even enter the village. Verse 27. And Jesus went on with his disciples to the villages of Caesarea Philippi, and on the way he asked his disciples, who do people say that I am? This is after he just healed the blind man and make the man peek into the spiritual dimension of man, into the spiritual dimension of the inner man, or the inner being. This is according to the Mark Gospel. This is how it was recorded. Mark 8 verse 28. And they told him, John the Baptist, and others say Elijah, and others one of the prophets. Verse 29. And he asked them, but who do you say that I am? Jesus posed the question to his disciples. The Matthew account, in Matthew chapter 16 from verse 13 to 20, Jesus Christ posed the question, who do men say I, the Son of Man, am? I, the Son of Man. I, the Son born of woman. I, the Son born. I'm giving to a lot of information here. Yeah, a lot of people, they want to talk about virgin birth, and I'm not dealing with that today. But as time goes on, we will touch on that. The Matthew account states, when Jesus Christ was asking his disciples, who do men say I, the Son of Man? Jesus said, I, the Son of Man. The Son of Man. I, the Son of Man. He didn't say I, the Son of God. I, the Son of Man. I'm going somewhere. Don't get ahead of things here. I, the Son of Man. The Son of Man means I, the Son of Mary. I, the Son born of a woman. Okay? All right. Okay. A lot of people can hold a debate on that. Oh, why will he say that? Oh, Jesus is the Son of God. Relax. I'm going somewhere. We're getting deeper here. Mark chapter 8 verse 29, English Standard Version. And he said, and he asked them, but who do you say that I am? He asked his disciples, who do men, people around, who do they say I, the Son of God, am? I, the Son of Man, am? Well, some say it's Elijah, some say it's John the Baptist, some say it's maybe one of the prophets. They don't know. They don't know any better. They don't know anything. But Peter, when he posed the questions to his disciples, okay, all right, I've heard you. Who do you say? You've been with me all along. Who do you say? Who do you say I am? Who do you say I, the Son of Man, am? According to Matthew's account. And Peter answered, oh, Peter answered, you are the Christ. Mark 8:29. It says, you are the Christ. I think I like Matthew's account better. Let me go to Matthew's account. Let me read from Matthew's account. Matthew chapter 16 from verse okay. Matthew's account, chapter 16, verse 13. Interesting. English Standard Version. Now, when Jesus came into the district of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his disciples, who do people say that the Son of Man is? And they said, some say John the Baptist, others say Elijah, and others Jeremiah, or one of the prophets. Verse 15. He said to them, but who do you say that I am? And Simon Peter replied, you are the Christ, the Son of the living God. You are the Christ, the Son of the living God. And Jesus answered him, blessed are you, Simon Bar-Jonah, for flesh, listen, for flesh and blood has not revealed this to you, but my Father who is in heaven. Stay tuned. It was Jesus. Who was the Christ mentioned in this passage, and who was Jesus the Christ? I'm not playing with words here. I'm serious. Who, according to the passage, who was Jesus? Number one, who was the Christ? And who was Jesus the Christ. I hope I've not confused you. Till I see you next time, stay blessed.